Oh, hello. Earlier this February, Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro and maker of Magic the Gathering trading card game, spoke to the massive growth and profits that the brand had achieved in 2022. Looking ahead to 2023, among many other predictions, Cox actually voiced an expectation that growth may be more moderate this year, especially during the second quarter, which he described as potentially having negative growth. Interestingly, Cox described spacing out Magic the Gathering product releases in order to reduce consumer fatigue, and that this is a result of, quote-unquote, taking the feedback to heart. Now, before I go any further, this needs to be said. I want Magic the Gathering to succeed. I love Magic the Gathering. I love it. I don't necessarily love the corporate decisions that have been made around it over the last several years, but the idea that Hasbro and its CEO are listening to customer concerns, this is a good thing. It is what we as customers should want, and I do not want to take this positive gesture and offer some kind of knee-jerk reaction of scorn or cynicism or other negativity. Hasbro is listening to feedback about product fatigue and taking it to heart? Great! Let's build on that. But before I do, I think it is also fair to point out that, as Magic the Gathering Philadelphia came to a close, we were given a preview of what would be following Phyrexia All Will Be One. Namely, March of the Machines, Draft, Set, and Collector boosters, within which will be everything from the return of double-faced cards, such as the new Jin-Gitaxis, which will actually become a saga, the team-up cards of favorite legendary characters teaming up from across the multiverse, and an array of both new and old cards in new and old treatments. The highlight of this being Multiverse Legends, a non-standard legal bonus sheet which will contain reprints of legendary creatures in their planner showcase frames. There will also be a special Halo foil treatment, as well as new cards appearing in these styles, and all of this divided in some combination and availability between the three main boosters. Jumpstart packs will be returning for March of the Machines as well, though there was no preview to the 5 original designs that these often contain, and we were treated as well to the not 2 but 5 commander decks that will be accompanying the set. These commander decks appear to be the once-yearly set of 5, and are typically regarded to be some of the highest quality commander decks that Wizards of the Coast makes. Within them will be the return of Plane Chase cards, as each March of the Machine commander deck will come with not 1 but 10 different Plane Chase cards, 5 new and 5 reprints, making for a total of 50. While it was revealed that there will be 3 secret layer drops tied to March of the Machine, only one of those 3 was revealed, with a variety of cards reprinted in classic showcase frames. March of the Machine The Aftermath was also further previewed. This is a small set, only 50 cards. However, all will be standard legal and sold in 5-card booster packs. These packs are purported to be where the so-called changes to Magic Forever will be most evident. What exactly that means still remains largely a mystery. I may have missed a few details or products from all that were announced, but no less than 48 hours after that announcement, another was made of still even more products to expect this year, and seemingly, contrary to Cox's comments about a slowing down of product releases, we were teased with Commander Masters, the new Masters set of 2023. Priced seemingly already along the same lines as Double Masters, or perhaps even a little higher, Commander Masters will be available in Draft boosters, Set boosters, and Collector boosters, as well as be accompanied by a line of Commander Masters Commander pre-constructed decks, each featuring 10 brand new original designs. Early pricing on these appears to be above that of even the yearly 5 Commander decks, and for Commander Masters, there will be 4 of these Commander decks. Also previewed is the Lord of the Rings set, a major set that will be modern legal, and will itself contain Draft and Set and Collector boosters, as well as its own 4 Commander decks. These Commander commander decks will each contain 20 never-before-seen commander cards, and pricing, at least initially, appears to be less than the pricing of the Commander Masters commander decks, though of course that is largely speculative at this point. Lord of the Rings will also bring with it its own Jumpstart boosters. Though this will be limited to only 5 unique themes, it will have its own unique cards as well. The Lord of the Rings set will also have both a regular bundle and a premium bundle gift edition, each with their own promos, different booster packs, foiling and alternate art treatments, and other teased treats. There will also be a starter kit with online MTG Arena codes available for redemptions of both decks. It is unclear at this time if the starter kit will feature any original designs, though it will of course feature unique set-themed card art, which we can assume will carry over onto Magic Arena with the redemption. So again, I want to build in good faith upon the idea that we are being listened to about product fatigue, assuming in that same good faith that this does in fact reflect a reduction of product releases. Why are so many Magic the Gathering players reacting as though they are still being deluged with product to the point of fatigue? Was this simply a poor way to convey release information to the customer base, unloading months upon months of product releases, no more than a week or so after the new set was released, and following one major announcement, in this case the announcement of March of the Machines products, with still more major announcements about product releases, and doing this all just a few days apart. Whether these products are actually spaced out or not, I think it's fair to say that this is probably not the best way to communicate with your player base. But I think there's more to it than that. I think there's more to product fatigue than that. And if Hasbro really is listening, I'd like to explain how and why many Magic the Gathering players may still be feeling overloaded with products, and why there's a lot more to product fatigue than they might think. Blah 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 blah. I want to stress that when discussing product overload and product fatigue, we may in fact mean different things. It is, after all, an ambiguous term, and not only can product overload or product fatigue mean something different between, say, company and customer, it can indeed mean something very different between one Magic player and another. I would like to start with this question. If the recent product announcements were of just 3 sets, March of the Machines, Commander Masters, and Lord of the Rings, why would just 3 sets feel like overload and cause fatigue? And that is acknowledging that a big factor in that answer is, yes, the way in which this information was released, namely too much too soon and too fast, but what else besides that might cause only 3 sets being talked about to feel like too many? Well, in a lot of ways, it isn't so much a problem of too many sets, but too many variations within each set. Commander Masters and Lord of the Rings isn't a problem so much as the fact that there's a total of 11 different variations of product and ways to buy each, and close to double that number if you count each individual Commander deck. I feel that in a lot of ways when we talk about product fatigue, what we are really talking about is mental fatigue. Think about it. One set broken into half a dozen subsets, and within each of those subsets they have their own unique cards, differing available versions of cards from the larger pool, and chances at getting said cards, all of which means that an individual player has to do research into and pay attention into each and everything with ever-growing scrutiny. And it is not fair to say to me, just pay attention to the Magic products that are relevant to you, when I am required to pay attention to and research into every product just to attempt to determine if indeed it is relevant to me. And for formats like Commander, the most popular and most played format in Magic the Gathering, every release is relevant in some way because every card is legal in that format. Perhaps Pioneer players have the luxury of tuning out Modern Horizons, tuning out Lord of the Rings, tuning out Double Masters, but Modern, Legacy, and Pauper players still need to double check that these sets are not creating new cards for their formats that they need to track and be aware of, or reprinting something they may need to pick up. Just pay attention to what is relevant to you is not really good advice. How do you know if something is relevant if you're not paying attention? And just how much do we have to pay attention to? A lot. Far more than just the 3 sets, March of the Machines, Commander Masters, and Lord of the Rings. That's because a set such as March of the Machines isn't just one set anymore. It's a large set of cards whose pieces are broken up and distributed differently into draft boosters, set boosters, collector boosters, jumpstart boosters, commander precons, starter kits, bundles, and the latter of which is broken up into a regular bundle and a premium version of that bundle, with each having its own different criteria of contents as well. I'm running out of breath just describing all the different things you have to look into for one set. Within nearly all of these products are some cards that are exclusive to that product, and certainly within all of them are versions of cards and treatments of cards that cannot be found in the other products. How do you know what is where and what is even what? Well, it's incredibly hard to parse breakdowns of the locations and frequency at which cards appear. Wizards of the Coast itself needs a literal PowerPoint presentation in order to tell you which cards can be found in which products. They have taken to releasing these for every set, and I will say, if Hasbro is indeed listening, these PowerPoint presentations not only do not help, but the fact that you feel you need these is a very bad sign. Imagine being a new customer, a kitchen table player, a casual Magic player, and asking something reasonable like what is and is not available in this booster pack. What about the contents of this product makes it different from another product? How do I know what I'm getting? Oh, and by the way, within set boosters is also something called the list, itself a kind of sub-game of constantly changing card contents that honestly can't be retained without reference, and I feel strongly that this system is indeed a large contributor to product fatigue. To make matters even more complicated, the contents of all of this changes literally from set to set. The breakdown of what is in set boosters or collector boosters is constantly in flux. With each new product release, you need a brand new slideshow and a brand new set of flowcharts to understand what is where. And sometimes the subsets of products being offered will change as well. Time Spiral Remastered, for example, was only available in draft boosters, but Dominaria Remastered was available in both draft and collector boosters, but no set boosters there, while Commander Masters will be available in draft and set and collector boosters. Oh, and this time will have commander decks, not 2 like sets that aren't part of the once-a-year 5 commander deck release usually have. This one will have 4. And those commander decks will have 10 original designs, even though master sets have been defined as being reprints only. Now, those 10 designs are a different number of designs that are in other commander precons, and the Lord of the Rings precons, they won't have 10 new designs. They'll have 20, which is, again, wildly, it's just every time it's a different number, it's a different contents. Oh, and those commander decks for Commander Masters having the original designs just in the commander decks, I'm wondering if those will also be available in the set boosters, because, you know, set boosters will occasionally contain one of the that's the collector boosters. Collector boosters sometimes have the cards from the commander sets in them, like you can get one of those original designs in the collector boosters. I don't know if these collector boosters will have that here because there are commander decks here, so maybe the collector boosters for the Masters set, these Masters collector boosters might have original designs. I didn't want to look this part up. I just realized it. I don't want to look it up. I just realized it now in set. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut this. My literal job is reviewing Magic the Gathering products, and I no longer can say with certainty what is in Magic the Gathering products. Good luck, average and casual and new players. Flowcharts upon flowcharts, PowerPoints upon PowerPoints, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that we do not know what anything costs or is even supposed to cost. Commander Masters is being shown in the vicinity of $400 to $500 for a box of set boosters. Is that a third-party markup? It shows as being from the Wizards Amazon store. what does anything cost? Okay, now I do need to put a pin in the talk of cost and price because I cannot diverge into a discussion about just how much Magic the Gathering products should cost, as that is an entirely different video. But I do think not having clear pricing information contributes to consumer product fatigue, in that it is yet another thing we don't know and are confused about and have to constantly struggle to figure out. What does a Masters product cost anymore? What does a set booster box cost? What does a bundle cost? And how much more is the premium version of a bundle? How can I determine if a product is for me if I do not know what is in it or what it is supposed to cost? What even are the different types of products these days? Product names mean whatever Wizards of the Coast wants them to mean. Commander Masters has original cards, but it isn't a Legends set. Lord of the Rings is all new cards that are modern legal, but it isn't a Horizons set. Everything's a secret lair. What the heck is anything anymore? And thus, Hasbro, if you are indeed listening, know that product fatigue and overload is less that we are getting things like Masters sets, which I want, and Remasters sets, which I love, and Universes Beyond sets, but that within each of those sets are numerous subsets of products, each with unclear contents, murky rules, and unknown prices. And while I am speaking here from the perspective as both a customer and a critic, and I do believe that it is not the responsibility of someone who can identify and point out a problem to also at the same time be able to fix that problem, I will offer two words: streamline and define. Streamline the subproduct line and define what is in an actual product. I know that these commentary videos are often perceived as me being negative towards Wizards of the Coast. Many players ask for me to skewer them on their bad decisions or just their bad public relations. But this video, I hope, is not seen as that. It is intended to be a good faith explanation of what I see as important issues relating to product overload and product fatigue. It is meant to help, and it is meant to be taken in good faith. To be honest, all my videos are, but that too is another discussion. And as for this discussion, I would like to hear from you. Do you agree with me about product fatigue and product overload? What do you believe Wizards of the Coast should do to solve these issues, and do you believe they are doing them? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, with so many new products available for you to purchase when you are doing so, whether it is Commander Precons for Commander Masters or Collector Boosters for Lord of the Rings or whatever the next will bring, when it is possible, when it is reasonable to do so, try and spend that money where you spend time playing this great game, and that is at your local games store. You're supporting your Magic community when you do.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Today, our old favorite classic Commander decks, but they're allowed to do a little tune-up if they see fit.
My name's Lexi, otherwise known as Micro Mage, and I have brought Essex.
Hi, I'm Amy the Amazonian, and I'm playing Lord Windgrace's Dirty Litter Box.
Hello, everybody. My name is Voxy, and I have crabs.
Crucible of Worlds.
Was that a secret lair?
Oh yeah, this is Secret Lair Amazonian. You can only get it from my house.
How do we feel about Infect happening?
My 1/1 snake is not the threat.
I really love that shirt because it implies that Garruk broke his curse by ripping his shirt off.
Show a little skin.
Hell yeah.